buddy.
Howdy.
You ever get your revenge on somebody?
Uh, I always like to try, but it doesn't always happen the way I want it to, you know?
Well, maybe you're just not thinking small enough.
Very, very true. If I was more petty about it, it might work better.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about today. These Redditors have been petty, petty, petty. Coming right up on Will and Dave Fix Your Life.
Let's go.
I can't keep living this way.
All right, pal. So today got a lot of stories. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully we can get through most of them.
Hopefully, some good petty revenge stuff in here. I like
Oh
a
yeah,
good petty revenge story.
dude,
It
they're always hilarious.
makes me feel more, wonderful that somebody's out there sticking it to somebody else. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, let's just dive right in, huh?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for
So
it.
this first one, it's a best of Redditor update. Lucy Aria Rose, petty revenge. Throw me under the bus? Nah, I don't think so. The original poster is Troa Axalshin. Okay, here's the original post. I work for a medical equipment company, specifically in the contracting department. We handle paperwork for $1 million instruments globally, and I handle half of the United States in my territory. Good
Wow.
for you, pal. My
Yeah.
gosh. And if they fail to sign because of me, then that can come back to bite my company in the butt because we might have to pay for the repair ourselves. This hasn't ever happened yet. It's just a potential consequence. I'll knock on wood now. So I'm fastidious in my work. Half an hour ago, I got an email from one of my account managers. We'll call him Hank. Subject line wasn't directly hostile, but it was marked important and listed a bigger account. Hank emailed me wanting to know why a contract hadn't gotten to the customer, basically asking, hey, this is way past due and it's your fault. Care to explain yourself?
Ooh.
He CC'd his boss and my supervisors so they could all see my big mistake. I dug and looked, and he was right. The customer contract expired 8 months ago. A little more digging, and I found out he emailed me about this customer's equipment last September. So
Okay.
I reread the email chain. It was a conversation from a half a year ago, after all. Luckily for
Well,
me, I
8 months ago it ended, right? It expired eight months ago. So
yeah,
half a year ago, that would make sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So luckily for me, I keep all my emails filed perfectly, account by account, and even color coded in each folder based on info and subject. Oh boy,
Wow.
my man, you have way, way too much hyper focus. It's tedious, but it can definitely come in handy if I ever need to look back for any reason. That's
I
really
mean,
cool.
honestly, I wish I was that organized, but
I can barely keep the titles of our podcast
right.
straight.
I throw everything into one folder and then I'm like, oh, where was that thing? So I have to keep extra things to tell me which ones we've used and which one we haven't. Yeah,
Right,
I
exactly.
probably
See,
should keep better track of that.
seriously, one of us needs to be good at things.
Right. Oh,
um, Thankfully, I keep everything I have the list in front of me when we're working out these titles. But geez, it do be rough sometimes.
it do be rough for sure.
Oh, okay. Then I sent him a response. Hey, Hank, these are the two equipment pieces you asked about on 910, correct? The ones that were outside my scope. In the last email I'd seen from you about that attached, you'd said you were putting together a contract for that equipment because my team doesn't handle these types of contracts, which I confirmed for you in the attached email from 1022. If I've left if I've let something slip through the cracks here, don't hesitate to ask. Always happy to help. Then I attached the email where I told him I wouldn't be handling this because it wasn't my job, and also attached the email where he acknowledged I was correct and said he would handle this himself. I kept
Okay.
both of our supervisors CC'd. After all, he'd been the one who added them. That's the move, my friend.
Exactly. Right. You're covering your bases. Yeah.
I basically, dude, yeah, seriously, CYA, right?
Yeah.
Cover your armory,
Yeah.
I believe is the word. Um, let's see. I basically told him, yeah, you did ask about that, and we determined it was in no way my job and definitely something you should handle, and you said you'd handle that 6 months ago. Did you not handle it like you said you would? In front of our bosses. And now Hank's boss can start this day by reading about how Hank promised a customer a contract half a year ago and then never followed through. I suspect Hank will be meeting with his boss in a few hours to discuss this. It's going to be a tough day for Hank. Anyone tries to throw me under the bus, I'm ready with a judo flip. I ain't going out like that.
Nice.
My favorite comment from the OP. This is, I have the memory of a goldfish, but the tenacity of a small, entitled chihuahua.
Them chihuahuas be just mean.
They just dude, them tenacious. Them tenacious. C's, man. C
tenacious
for
C. Instead of tenacious D, tenacious C.
Okay, an update post of July 30th, 3.5 months later. Quick TLDR for those who new to the story. An account manager named Hank wasn't doing his job, got in trouble, tried to throw me under the bus, and pinned it on me. But I'd kept receipts and proved he was the real problem. So, as the title states, I'm now working with a different company. So what happened? Well, for that, okay. Oh, the title is "Throw Me Under the Bus." It worked. I got fired. Oh no. Okay, so what happened? Well, for that, we need background on Mary. Mary was an account manager a few years ago, ambitious, slimy, and willing to cheat. When she saw a woman near retirement making double what she made, she saw an opportunity. Sarah had a team of 3 under her, and she was old-fashioned and very particular. It would have been easy for Sarah to rub people the wrong way. Sadly, she was an easy target. Mary got some friends together and launched a character attack on Sarah, pointing out her slow, meager growth and saying she could do that whole team's job blindfolded if given the chance. The company listed, Sarah was pushed into early retirement, and Mary was given Sarah's job, but they didn't give Mary a team. Since Mary said she could do the whole team's job herself, turns out the whole company took her at her word. Company saw they could fire 4, promote 1, and cut costs. Whoops. Now Mary can't promote the AM buddies she'd conspired with. Not yet, anyway. So she buckles down and does her best to stay afloat. Mary flounders. After a rough 1.5 years, she's deep in drugs and booze, and her numbers are terrible. She's facing a firing squad because there's an employee in her department, a lower-rung contracting guy, who is outpacing her. That's right. If you haven't put it together, Mary was my current boss. And I sadly didn't know about Mary's rise to her position until the hammer dropped, talking with her coworkers. Mary was doing the job of my 4 previous managers and definitely struggling to keep her head above water, having way too much to do with Sarah's team replacement. My entire team knew that she'd be promoting people into Sarah's team's old roles eventually, and we all hoped for a spot. Since I was regularly hitting 200% quota, I was a shoo-in for one of those spots.
Or was I?
Right? This poor fella. Sadly, it turns out that Mary's position was actually worse than any of us knew. After underperforming for too long, she was secretly facing termination. And turns out they were looking to hire me in her spot when they brought me up for training right after my vacation. Mary was panicked, facing losing her job, and she knew I kept receipts, so she couldn't make up a story and write me off like she'd done to get where she was now. Then the Hank problem happened. I emailed her my receipts, and instead Mary found an ally. She saw an opportunity to work with Hank, an AM who also wanted me gone now for his own job security, and together they devised a plan. While I was out for a week visiting family down south, they collected several account manager complaints that no one ever saw, just stuff she knew about assistant managers that didn't want to keep working with me. Hank and Mary worked together while I was out of the office and couldn't defend myself, pressured my weak-willed boss, and made their move. She said my emails were unprofessional, citing an email where I asked, I was wondering if you'd had the chance to review the contract I'd sent over a few weeks ago, as being pushy, unprofessional, and accusatory.
That sounds normal.
Yeah, it is a normal thing, but what are you going to do? And my boss crumpled like a house of cards. No warning, no write-up, no training to improve, no days without pay, no demotion. For a trumped-up email charge and some vague promises of whispers in the wind, and probably some money or favors to my boss. My boss caved and went from a slap on the wrist to launching the nuke. I
That's
went back on
definitely
Monday.
something that I've had to deal with where like if you read the like terms of, disciplinary action
Mhm.
and they're all like, oh, you have to have this many write-ups and this much stuff happen before, termination's even thought of. But then I get no write-ups and then they're just straight down for like, let's get rid of you. Like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
you're not following protocol. Like,
And that's
whether or not I did something
unfortunately they're
wrong,
allowed to do
you're
that
not
with
working
at-will
right.
employment.
Yeah, it's not, that's definitely not fun. I totally understand.
When I got back on Monday, they met me at the door, so to speak. We all work from home and let me know they had decided to let me go. No discussion. It was all decided and finalized. I was hired by another company the same day, so I'm fine, making the
Nice.
same money. So the worst thing I'll lose out on is that 200% bonus payout every few months, which does suck. Yeah. Be careful. Sometimes when you avoid being thrown under a bus, they just get a bigger bus and try again.
They get that double-decker bus and they just, and then back up and then go,
Yep.
Yep.
So the relevant comments, according to the Best of Redditor Updates protocol here,
Mm-hmm.
is there was a reflection from the OP. Yeah, I agree it was rough, but I'm in a better spot in the long run. And he's mad about the manager. I really hate that I was friends with the guy. We started at the company the same day, and we had won another's backs. When his family failed, I picked him up. When my AC caught fire, he shelled out from his own pockets to get me sorted out. When he did stand-up comedy, I was on the front row and paying for a shirt. That was all before he got promoted to manager. Once he was there, he slowly sank to all about me.
Paying for a shirt.
That's part of what sucks is he knows. Even said privately he agrees that it's the wrong move. He was just too cowardly to fight back. Yeah.
Yep. Some people. Some
Indeed.
people's kids. Yeah.
Yep. It's an at-will state where people can fire you on the spot without giving a reason.
Yeah.
In fact, they made up one at all is nice considering what some companies do. I do hope their numbers tank next quarter, but time will tell. Yep. That company is probably not going very far in the long run. And that's the thing, man. Like, yeah, always have your receipts handy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes people are extra ridiculous.
Extra.
Like
They're extra. Yeah.
extra.
It's just sometimes you can't beat them, and there's no joining. It's just you got to take it because there's nothing you can do. That's the crappy part about being an at-will employment state is just you can't do too much about it.
Yep. See, that's in France. They riot when they get a percent cut. You know what I mean? Like it's wild. Like they don't mess around over there in France.
They also get a lot more time off.
Yeah, because they don't don't work to live or live to work or whatever it is.
Yeah, whichever it is. Yeah.
Okay, so this next one. A rude neighbor's convertible meets rain, karma, and one very quiet witness. This is called Petty Neighbor Revenge. The original poster is C Supermarket 9728, posted in Petty Revenge. Another fairly light post. My neighbors can act rather unneighborly, especially when they are having a family get-together. The backstory is they regularly party until 2 a.m. Sunday through Monday. Through Monday? Good God.
Sunday through Monday. That's, yeah.
Ugh. Their guests park their cars awkwardly on the road, so it's difficult to maneuver around them, and they let their dogs crap on the community gardens without picking up after them. Annoying, but not a hill to die on. I also suspect that the dad is a bit of a drinker, as I see him staggering up his drive most evenings. Recently, he bought a BMW convertible. I have a Ring camera that picks up a part of their driveway, both film and sound. It's not really film, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I can tell it's his pride and joy by the way he throws out the stats on it when showing it off to visitors. Yeah, it's a V8. Yes, Does
Yeah,
85 miles to the
it,
thimbleful of gasoline.
it does 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds, and or whatever it is.
It's a BMW. Calm down.
Yeah.
Oh man, those car guys, man. Like, I know you're kind of a car guy, but you are exponentially more of a car guy than I am.
Mm,
Like, I'm just happy when my gas mileage is okay. You know what I
right.
mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
can I get to and from the place within a certain amount of distance and time?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I definitely I would agree. I am definitely more of a car guy than you are, but I'm not that car guy that's all like, no, I have to have this and it has to do that. Like it I want it to work well. I want it to be nice and I don't want it to break on me. That's my main goals.
You're the friend I call up and send a picture of the part that I'm looking at, and I go, "Hey man, what's this?
Yeah.
How do I make it go?
Yeah.
Why my car no
How
go?
do I it no go? How do I make it go?
How do I make a car go? Please make car go, please. It no go. Why it not go? Well, fix my car.
You would have so much better time if we were in the same place, because you would do the same thing to me just face to face, and then I would just fix it.
Yeah, it would be so good. Yeah, I need you to move down here. Oh, because I am not going back up there, bud.
Yeah, no. If anything, after all of the stuff is done up here that has to be done, the possibility of us moving down there is way more than us, staying here, making people come here. That's for sure.
Sweet. I got to go up there and visit Sarah. Hi, Sarah. I know you listen.
Hi.
Looking at our beautiful mugs this whole time without saying anything. Sheesh.
She likes it.
Anyway, last night I went outside to take my bin to the end of the driveway, ready for next day collection. Well, la dee da. You actually take your bin out the night before. Okay. Sometimes I have to run down my driveway with my trash bin. No, please. Oh gosh. Yeah.
We just keep it at the end of the driveway and make the kids take it out to the
Oh
bin.
well, yeah, but you live in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
So
essentially, yeah.
oh man, back at my old house at the farm, we had a dumpster. And so like every month the garbage guy would come in and he would just drive in, take our dumpster, empty it, and leave. We didn't have to
Right.
do nothing.
Don't even have to worry about it.
So good. But
That's so
here
perfect.
in residential area, I have to like be
Right.
responsible, which is stupid.
Yeah. Oh, being responsible. Oh.
Anyway, before I get too into this guy being so fancy that he takes out his garbage collection the night before, take my bin to the end of the drive, ready for the next day, and saw a key fob on the floor at the end of our driveway next to the neighbor's bin. I glanced up his driveway and saw the car top was down. So I just nudged the key fob under his bin with my foot and went back inside my home. I went on my ring to see.
That's pretty petty. That is pretty petty.
I didn't see nothing, friend.
Like, what? Oh, no.
Oh my goodness. I went on my ring camera to see that the man had driven up his driveway, struggled to get out of his car, dragged the bin to the bottom of his driveway, and then swaggered back, obviously drunk. He must have dropped his keys in the process. I chuckled and went to bed. Last night it rained hard.
Oh.
I left the house before the neighbors outside. I can't wait to check my ring footage later. Fabulous.
That's fabulous.
I'll keep this short. This is the update. I'll keep this short. I checked the bin when I got home and the keys are still hidden, so I picked them up. The car was gone. So I looked at the ring camera recording and saw the wife came out of her house and walked down to her bin with a bag of rubbish about an hour after I left the house. She walked back up the driveway, stopped at the car, and leaned in, I'm assuming to check whether the car was damp, and then rushed into the house. The next hour was essentially a lot of the husband and wife going in and out of the house, leaning into the car and screaming at each other. The wife kept screaming, "You promised me," and the husband debating he did it.
Oh,
Then the husband came back out and tried to start the car, spare key, started shouting profanities again when it wouldn't work. He got on the phone to someone explaining the damage, and a few hours later, a tow truck took the car away. It's been
oh,
silence since then. I have the key. Not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I know I'm not going anywhere near them in the mood they were in. I'm
no.
imagining dropping dropping the roof down next time he comes back drunk, so the wife can lose her stuff at him again when when she sees it's done when she sees he's done it again.
Yes. Yes.
Relevant comments. You have an obligation to report this if you have evidence of him drunk driving. Look, I contacted the non-emergency police last year about the state he was driving and what I saw on my camera, and they told me that the recording would be circumstantial evidence at best. I asked if someone could pick him up while he was driving home, and they responded with they don't have the resources to do that. It was a disappointing and very frustrating conversation.
Okay.
Someone else says, throw the dog do in the car with the top down. Uh, People have recommended that, but I'm not sure whether the house has cameras as well. May not be a ring, as I've never heard the tones. I like the idea of messing with his car without actually being caught on camera. So dropping the top or making the alarm go off can be done from a distance and made to look like drunk husband accidentally did it himself when he parked.
Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the update 9 days later. Well, the car is back. It's sitting on the neighbor's driveway with the top up. I haven't seen the husband drunk and driving recently, but that may be because his wife seemed to be chauffeur at the moment. I was just going to throw the keys into their driveway so they could find them another day. But last night they had another family gathering and didn't turn the music off until 4 a.m. I watched the other neighbors knocking on their door. The cops called, and then when everyone went away, they cranked the music back up.
Ugh.
Ugh. So now I'm going to wait until the next time he comes home and it's a rainy night, and I'm going to drop that top using the fob. And that's all we got for it. But
That is
that
that
was
is
pretty petty.
good and petty. That is
Good
good and
and
petty.
petty.
I see. I like the fact that it's like, well, I've got the keys. I don't need to drop, dog do in the car. Like
I can just
have
mess with him.
I could just mess with him. And then like he's got a problem with his wife because he didn't put the top up when really like he went inside and I just went boop. I mean, at the same time, maybe not ethical,
It is technically theft, yeah.
but I mean, you don't know those are the keys. You have to test it to see if the keys are actually the right keys, right?
He has. I mean, honestly,
There's
it's a
probably a
BMW
giant
key right next to a
BMW symbol on.
I mean, come on, like do the
Yeah,
math.
but technically, I mean, it could be anybody's BMW. I mean,
Yeah, it could be Barack Obama's for all he knows.
yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Uh,
No, friend, no. I cannot recommend stealing somebody's keys. I can
no,
recommend not saying anything if you find them and you don't take them.
right.
Like the
I mean,
first action.
the scooting it underneath the bin, right? Like and leaving them there. Like,
Just
well,
letting the car
know
get
I didn't
soaked the
see
whole time.
anything,
Yeah.
right?
You promised me. Oh, that's perfect.
That is perfect. Ooh,
Oh boy, Bucket Woman, a neighborhood petty revenge saga.
bucket.
One nightmare neighbor starts a war over buckets, fences, and lawn control. You have any nightmare neighbors? You ever have nightmare neighbors?
I've had nightmare neighbors. I definitely have had some that were, ooh, buddy, same kind of thing, like loud music and stuff. Parking is the one thing that I've had the worst thing. Like you get 2 parking spots per apartment, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm talking about is like 2 parking spots per apartment. And I come home from work and I work late, so I don't get home till 3:30 in the morning or something like that. I get home and not only are both parking spots taken up, which shouldn't have happened, but there's also a whole bunch of cars like in the driveway. So now I have to park on the street, which is like quarter mile that I have to walk now.
Yeah.
I work hard, I pay the bills. Why am I having to do this? And then you argue with them, you know, hey, this really shouldn't happen, happens again. Hey, this really shouldn't happen, happens again. Hey, this really shouldn't happen, happens again. Well, just have to deal with it, I guess. I never ran into this situation where I was able to mess with them, which I probably would
It
have,
always
but
happens to better people, you know, like it always
right,
happens where you hear the story. It's not like you get to be the story.
you don't get to be that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's rough.
Uh,
It's
it is
rough out
rough.
there for a guy who just wants to get his petty revenge,
Exactly.
you know? Oh, oh my. So, okay. So there was one time when, um, like we were, like I was at Starbucks and somebody was like losing his crap over like, I think he wanted like a brownie or something, right? Like he was just really just being a jerk to
He
everybody.
wanted oat milk and he got skim.
Well, no, I mean, like I have no idea what he was being a jerk about. He was just being a pain in the ass
Yeah.
to the baristas and just being all like, it's not 180 degrees, blah blah blah
Which
blah.
is not okay. I have been that person. I've
Yeah,
worked at places where I had to be a barista. Well, like I'm not actually a barista, but like there's a
you made coffee. Yeah,
I made coffee and people are like, "Oh, it needs to be this exact thing and this exact thing." And then you give it to them and they're like, this wasn't temped up to
this
160
isn't
something degree."
brevet.
Like,
Yeah,
you don't know that. How do you don't have a temperature thing? And it would have gone down by the time I gave it to you.
a
Like,
temperature, a thermometer.
like
Yeah,
why? I mean, any type of temperature thing. I mean, at that time, like it would have had to been a thermometer, yeah. But
yeah. Well, this is fine. But like, anyway, so he was an a hole to the baristas and everything else, and then I he goes and he sits down. He's like, man, I really want a brownie. I walk up and I asked them how many brownies they had. And they said, we got like 5 brownies left. I said, let me buy all of them. Bought all the brownies. He goes up and they're out of brownies. That's about it. Like that's the pettiest I've ever been. Is I just
did
stole the
you
brownie.
eat all 5 brownies in front of him?
No, no, no. I didn't eat
Because that
all of
would have been the
them in
next
front of
level.
them. I ate one, but like I didn't like make a big show of it. I should have.
You should have. You should have.
Oh, yeah. Oh man. Anyway, so new update. Bucket Woman, a neighborhood petty revenge saga. Oh boy, there's like a bunch of these. Okay, the first best of Reddit update. It's 4 posts. Nope, that's been removed. Okay, here it is. Okay. Best of Reddit updates. The OP is Hokey Pokey guest list. Okay, let me see if I can actually get there. It was removed by the moderators.
Oh,
That's a pain.
that is a pain.
The auto moderators say.
Auto moderators.
Okay. Well, this is unfortunate. Let me see if I can find Hokey Pokey guest list. Sorry, it's taking a second. Let's see if I can find them in petty revenge here. So many. When was this posted? 2022. I gotta scroll. Give me 2 seconds here.
Scrolling.
Gotta scroll back 4 years. Okay. Bucket Woman. There's a lot of Bucket Women ones. Okay, so let's see. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look up Bucket Woman Atlanta events. Sorted by new. I'm gonna go all the way down. Here it is. Okay, so it's neighborhood dispute started over grass and bins. Ends with her tenants leaving. My goodness. Sorry about the long edit, Will. You're gonna have to deal with that.
That's fine. Neighborhood dispute start over grass and bins end with her tenants leaving.
Yes.
Okay.
Shall I link it to you, friend?
No, I got it.
You found it. Okay, good. Okay. I posted this in r/ on my the a-hole, but someone suggested I post it here. My kids and I moved house in March. Day 2 in my new house, and I tripped over a broken paver. Didn't break anything, but I still needed surgery, a 3-night hospital stay, and a full leg brace for 2 weeks.
Oh,
How? While in hospital, okay, they're British.
yeah.
While I was in hospital, my partner, formerly ex-partner, now reconciled, it's complicated. Thank you for the too much information. I appreciate it.
That's great.
My partner, Martin, dad, sister, bestie, and her wife had formed an emergency team. They kept my kids and pets safe and fed and finished the unpacking. Dad and Martin did a little garden work, removing the broken paver and laying some old fence posts along the fence where the neighbor's dog was digging through. Week 1, I hobbled to the letterbox and met my next door's landlord, who my partner nicknamed the Bucket Woman.
The Bucket Woman.
Okay. She immediately told me to bring my bins in by 9 a.m. because it made the street look messy. She demanded I move the posts because the grass would grow through to her side. I explained the reason for the posts and said that once the holes were filled in, let me know and I would move them. And hello to you too.
Right.
Wow.
Oh,
Week
geez.
1.
Week 1.
This is going to be a long one, I think.
This is gonna
Week
be a long
1, bin day, 9:10 a.m. The Bucket Woman banged on my door. I'm still in PJs and leg brace. She complained about the bins. I said my bestie is coming by later to help me dress. I couldn't do feet. And
Couldn't do feet.
couldn't do my feet because my legs is wrecked.
Busted.
I'll bring the bins in later. When Bestie pulled up, she had to park out front because my bins were in the driveway. I checked. The council bylaws don't have a deadline for bringing bins in.
Well, I mean,
dude, already.
yeah, already.
Okay, so I hate that. I have a neighbor next door who thinks he's being so nice and generous to my grandmother, right?
Right.
Because we have a disabled ramp going up the place and everything else now.
Right.
So on trash day, when the trash bins go, get emptied and stuff,
Right.
he'll bring the bin up to the mouth of the driveway, right behind my car, or right where I cannot park. So rather than taking it the 30 extra feet to where
Right.
we land the garbage, anyway, so he puts it right where nobody can avoid it.
So it's kind of helpful, but also kind of like a statement.
I feel like he's trying to make a statement. Unfortunately, he how you say, I don't think he's trying to make a statement. Let me put it that way. Because the guy's nice. He's a real nice fella, and he
Okay.
comes in and he trims hedges and stuff on our side of the fence when they grow over and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he fills up my green bin when he does it, but I'm not complaining about that. But the thing is, if I tell him, can you either leave my bins alone or bring it past my car,
So then I don't have to worry about it.
that way I'm not having to just randomly grumpily move the goddamn thing. Then then I'll be the jerk because he's trying to do a nice thing, right?
Right.
And I'm gonna say it with the most amount of spite I possibly can. Could you not? Could you just don't?
Just don't.
Please, just all you got to do is don't. You know what I mean?
Don't.
And this is and he's a nice guy, so I can't be a jerk about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the problem is my default setting for a thing like that is, ugh, why? There's no point to this. If you're gonna do this, do the whole thing. Don't park it. Don't move it 12 steps and say you're helping. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
No.
man,
Not okay. Not okay.
Mm.
And parking it behind your car, that is, in my opinion, that is a statement. Whether he says it's a statement or not, that is a statement.
Initially, I'm sitting here going, this guy has it out for me. He's pissed at me because I didn't take my trash bin in at 10 in the morning. I don't get up until noon.
Yeah, dude, I've got other stuff to do.
I got things to do, like making podcasts all night and everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
But then he comes in, he's like, hey, I got your bins moved for you, so the grandma doesn't have to worry about it, blah, 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 blah. And he's just super bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, like, was that helpful? And I have to go, yes, thank you.
Sure.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Next time, if you could maybe move it.
Meanwhile, my
30
inner
feet that way.
monologue is just screaming, "Wah!"
I know
but,
you're doing this for a reason.
this is my ADHD rage built in. It's because like I'm hyper focused on getting into my car, and it's like I can't move my car because this fucking thing's here. Excuse my language. Oh boy, Will, you're gonna have to bleep me
It's fine. It's fine.
because this thing's here. I can't do nothing about it. Oh my Lanta. So like,
Yeah.
anyway, let's go back to the bucket woman.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what. Okay. Bucket woman bang, blah, 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 blah. Next, Martin got a temporary approval to WFH at my place. I don't know what WFH. I got home and Martin was escorting the bucket woman off the property. The bucket woman thought nobody was home and tried to sneak in to move the posts. Martin said next time he calls the police. I see. So I think he's got like temporary approval. WFH.
Work from home.
Oh, that makes sense. Thank you so much. So got temporary approval to work from home at my place. I got my, okay. A few weeks ago, the police arrived. Martin was at work and said a concerned neighbor called about a man and woman having a domestic dispute, and the man was destroying the fence. The bucket woman is out the front watching. Once they're satisfied, I'm okay, and there's no damage, I explain about last week and show them the security footage. Later, I see them speaking with the bucket woman. She isn't happy, and she goes inside. I was I don't know why they're calling her the bucket woman, but we're going to find out, I guess.
It's so great.
I was working nights and the police visit has taken up a lot of my precious sleeping time. I was fuming. Then the
bet.
penny dropped. The bucket woman just let herself in while the tenants were at work. So I spoke to the tenants and I was blunt. I asked if they were okay with the bucket woman being in the house while they were out and said I'd seen her there at least once a week. In a nutshell, they were not okay with that.
We're not okay.
Later, one of the guys came around with a box of Chockies. Chocolates, I think. Thanked me and said they were moving out right away. The bucket woman was furious at me. She says I made her tenants leave and got her in trouble with the rental agents too. She told me I made the street look messy and hang underwear on the washing line, so how will she get new tenants? I wanted so badly to tell her to get off of my lawn.
I mean, why didn't you just do it?
Right? I just got off the phone from the council. Update. Just got off the phone from the council. Someone, quote unquote, has complained I removed a protected tree from my property. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. Spoke to the council again. The complaint is definitely that the tree was removed. The tree is definitely still there and visible from the street. Council are sending someone to inspect the tree. Martin and I will be there armed with reports and photographs.
There you go.
Yes. I did my bit for democracy, and the nice neighbors from the other side were in queue to vote ahead of me. They took their own photos of the storm damage to the tree. Okay, I'm not sure what this means.
Yeah, something feels skipped here.
Something got skipped. Yeah, that's okay. Doesn't matter. Anyway, bucket woman. Why do they call her the bucket woman? Well, because there's a show called Keeping Up Appearances with a woman named the lead of that show is a woman named Hyacinth Bouquet, but Bouquet is spelled Bucket. Yes, and she's one of those oh no we can't do the what will the neighbors think kind of ladies, and it's hilarious because and the actress who plays her is phenomenal. I love her so much. So that's why they call her the bucket woman. Bucket woman versus robo sprinkler. This is all. This seems good. Let's see. The bucket woman. So we might have to do a whole series on bucket woman.
Bucket woman, yeah.
Okay. The bucket woman was actually the sprinkler's second victim. The first was Max, short for Gluteus Maximus, the neighbor's cat, who is his morning whiz on my rosemary plant. Max strolled across the sensor, and Robo Sprinkler 2 activated. He got the shock of his life when that morning the garden peed back. So they got these robo sprinklers that cut on when somebody hits the sensor. That's pretty fun.
Right. Yeah.
He ran back to his own yard like he'd been fired out of a cannon. Robo Sprinkler 1 fired on the bucket woman on Tuesday afternoon. Martin was working from home, but at the back at the back of the house and only knew something happened when the fluffy couch potato cat let out an unearthly howl and tried to hide between Martin and the chair he was sitting on. He got to the front room just in time to see the bucket woman disappearing behind the fence, so he went to check the security footage. I got a text asking if I wanted good news or the bad news first. I was having a crap day, so I opted for the good news. I got 2 words back. Got her.
Got her.
Oh, that's fun. And then I asked for the bad news, and he texted, sorry about your rosemary. Oh, I only have 2 plants in the front garden that I really care about, and that rosemary is one of them. It's flowered nearly all winter, and I really like watching the bees. Oh. When I got home, there was a group of people outside our house. I started to worry, thinking something terrible had happened, but I realized they were sprinkler devotees, and in the middle was my partner performing the dance of his people. This account has been pieced together from looking at track marks and observing the triumphant dance of the sprinkler people. It seems that the bucket woman entered through the gate and headed toward the bedroom window, crossing Robo Sprinkler 1's sensor. Robo Sprinkler 1 fired on the intruder and scored a direct hit before starting on its arc. The bucket woman was startled and ran back toward the gate, but Robo Sprinkler had started its run and hit her a second time. She was startled again, denoted by some high leaps and exaggerated shrieking in the dance. Changing direction, ran past the gate, and body slammed my poor defenseless plant before finding the gate and running next door.
Oh.
The triumphant dance makes no mention of bees, but I picture a bunch of worker bees turning up to work at the rosemary plant following day and going, oh, bloody hell, what happened here? The interesting thing is the robo sprinklers seem to have had a different effect. This happened on Tuesday. Today is Monday, and she hasn't visited since. We see her on cameras pacing up and down out the front, but she's staying out of our garden and away from the windows. Martin came down with man flu on Wednesday. A close family friend died on Thursday, so this has been welcome respite. Nor have we been visited by authorities following up allegations I am keeping unlicensed bees or that my fluffy couch potato is really the hound of the Baskervilles. It's as if a couple of squirts of cold water have shocked some reality into her. Although, to be fair, I don't know how long it takes the Department of Agriculture to follow up reports of unlicensed apiary, and I'm not even sure which agency regulates hounds of Baskervilles. That may be still to come. This person, I have to follow this person now because they're phenomenal.
Right?
Hokey pokey guest list. Do yourself a favor and read their posts. Oh my goodness. That is hilarious.
That is good.
If you have a terrible neighbor like that, get a robo sprinkler. That's all I'm saying. Hounds of Baskervilles. My God.
That's great.
Oh. There's just something so extra petty about British petty, you know?
Right. British petty is another level of petty.
It super is. I think they invented petty. Okay. Here we go. Boss used the schedule as a weapon, so the employee used it right back. Worker gets screwed out of holiday pay by his or her boss and ends up getting the best revenge. Petty revenge. Original links. What? What the devil?
Oh, it's I am not the original.
Okay, fair enough. So screwed out of my holiday pay because we don't have set schedules. 3 months later, I used the exact same phrase to my boss when asked why I didn't come in when I wasn't on the schedule. The title probably doesn't make too much sense, but it will after reading, hopefully. I'm on mobile, so for formatting. Formatting is bad. Got it. All right,
Yep.
Background. When I was hired for the job, which I currently work, I was hired to work on Tuesday through Saturday from 2 to 10. Cool. This has been my schedule for months, never changing, as I was verbally told that this was my set schedule. I even clarified this because I had to arrange childcare. For example, one week I was accidentally left off the schedule entirely and was told to just work my normal schedule. Great. Around Thanksgiving time, we closed down for a week. The company policy is that you have to work your last scheduled shift before the break and your first scheduled shift after in order to get your holiday pay. On the Monday following Thanksgiving, remember, I'm normally off Mondays. I got a call saying I was scheduled to work and that because I didn't come in, I wouldn't get my holiday pay. This kind of peed me off, because I'd been told I would work Tuesday through Saturday and thus had only arranged childcare for those days, so I couldn't come in that day if I wanted to. The exact phrase I was told over the phone, "It is your responsibility to check the schedule every week because we don't have set schedules."
But
Oh,
it's what?
oh, I see. Fast forward to this week. While checking the schedule, I noticed that my schedule is the same as normal with the exception that I am off the schedule on Saturday. So I decided to not look a gift horse in the mouth and just take the 3-day weekend and don't mention to my boss that she left me off. So Saturday, which I normally would work, I don't go in since I'm not scheduled. I got a call from work and didn't answer. No voicemail left. Then I received a text from my boss saying that my schedule never changes and it will be a no call, no show on my attendance record for not coming into work.
Oh
I
no.
reply that I am not on the schedule, so I am not required to come in, as it is my responsibility to check the schedule every week because we don't have set schedules.
Yeah.
I received no further reply, and I'm looking forward to seeing how work goes on Tuesday.
So
Edit 1. Forgot to mention this, but I took a picture of the schedule to make sure I can prove I was off
good job.
on the schedule in case my boss tries to write me up. And in case you
Yeah.
don't feel like looking through all the comments, I do have a new job lined up, and I'm just waiting for my start date before I quit this one.
Good job.
I deleted.
Probably
Okay.
this one.
Oh, it's probably this. Okay. Hello, all. As promised, my update to my post from a couple days ago. Thanks to all for advice about the situation, things to consider, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Before work today, I had a follow-up interview yesterday for the new job I mentioned in the comments and an edit. I was offered the position and I wanted and was told that I can start as soon as I want. I came into work today intending to work the shift today before leaving, as it's the last day of the pay period. When I got to work today, I clocked in and didn't see any managers or anything, so I started working. After 15 minutes or so, my boss came out and asked, "The 803 project, you really couldn't come in on Saturday?" Oh, I'm assuming that's the OP.
Yeah.
You really couldn't come in on Saturday? Obviously, they knew the answer, and I said no. They then asked me what I was doing that I couldn't work my usual shift. I replied that it wasn't their concern what I do on a day that I'm not at work. They simply nodded quietly and walked away. About an hour later, boss came over and asked to see me for a minute. I go to their office, and there's a manager. They are above me and lower than boss, sitting in there as well. A condensed version of the discussion. Boss has a write-up and gives me a spiel about the attendance policy and said I have to get written up for a no-call, no-show. I refused to sign the write-up as I wasn't scheduled, so I couldn't no-call, no-show a shift that is not scheduled for.
Right.
Manager seemed a little confused. I don't think they were told that boss didn't put me on the schedule, and that's why I didn't show up. So I pull the picture up of the schedule on my phone and show it to manager, who then agrees with me that this isn't a no-call, no-show. Boss said
There we
I
go.
know what my normal schedule is as a full-time employee, and so I should have clarified that it wasn't a mistake. I said it wasn't my responsibility to double-check the schedule that they put out and reminded them that I was told my responsibility was to check the schedule every week because we don't have set schedules. Boss said something about for future reference about my working normal schedule, and I said okay and asked if I could go now. I debated whether or not to stay the rest of the shift before deciding to go ahead and leave. So I wrote and signed and documented a note saying I was quitting effective immediately, and I left it on the boss's desk and told the manager on my way to the time clock. This is the first and only time I've quit without giving 2 weeks' notice. Sorry if the ending wasn't more exciting, but I'm super excited to be starting my new job, and I'm happy in having been able to share my story. The revenge was satisfying to me. Good. And I'm glad to be starting at a better job with a better environment. Thank you all for enjoying it with me.
That's good. I mean, I've definitely been in the same situation where like they're telling me, not exact same situation, but like they're telling me that they are going to let me go, but I can finish out the rest of the day. And then I go to finish out the rest of the day and I'm like, this is dumb. I don't want to be here. You don't want me here. So I'm just going to go. And then they're like, why would you leave? You're in the middle of the shift. Dude, you're not going to have me the next shift. You guys decided to get rid of me. So why do I need to be here?
Pick up the 2 hours of slack.
Is straight up like not even doing my normal job in the first place. Like, Is pretty
Yeah.
much you're just trying to get extra work out of somebody who, you've already let go.
It's like
Like,
one of those train your
why?
replacement things, It's like, I'm not doing
Yeah.
that. Are you kidding?
Sorry.
No.
I'm not training. I'm going to train him as shitty as I possibly can. And I'm not
I'm gonna
even
train you
mad that I'm gonna train you as bad as I can. I'm gonna make sure that there's problems so that they have to deal with it, because they're the ones that have to deal with this. I don't have to deal with this because they're the ones that got rid of me. Like, I mean, that's petty, but at the same time, like, I mean, it's not my fault. You're the ones that got rid of me. Just, maybe think about it next time before you get rid of somebody who's actually essential.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, so you want to hear a nice grandma story?
Yeah, let's hear the good ones.
Yeah, let's hear a good grandma story. Miss Manuka writes, My grandma's awesome petty revenge on my behalf. Oh, it is 2 very large paragraphs. Okay. I have 3 sisters. 2 are older and 1 is younger. My older sisters are 6 and 7 years older, and my younger sister, Savannah, is only 16 months younger than I am. When we were little, my mom always believed Savannah's side of every story, which of course made me the bad guy. We got into an argument one night about who got to sleep with our favorite blanket. Stupid, I know, but a hill that an 8-year-old me was willing to die on.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I wasn't giving in like everyone else did to her, so she got this evil smile on her face and said she'd be nice and let me have it. Not being smart enough to be suspicious, I gratefully accepted, and she said she was going to the bathroom before bed. 20 minutes later, I hear a blood-curdling scream from outside the bedroom door, and my mom comes running. Savannah had a black eye and told my mom that I punched her after I stole her blanket. I tried telling the truth, but wasn't believed. I got spanked, a long lecture on how I could have damaged her eye, and the blanket was given to her. We got sent to bed. In the morning, I noticed my sister's black eye had smeared all across her face. I ran to the bathroom and saw my older sister's makeup on the counter. I told my mom, and she apologized, but Savannah went mostly unpunished, as usual. That fight happened in the beginning of September, and I ended up venting to my grandmother about it, as she was the only person who knew how devious my sister could be. This is an 8-year-old. I just want to point that out. Well, 8-year-old, and then, an 8-year-old.
Right. An 8-year-old.
Wait. So a little
Did we
bit.
say that? Did we say that? We're real quick. 8-year-old. It's an 8-year-old.
8.
That's 8.
Yes.
Like
How
6,
could you
7,
not
8.
tell that it, by the way, that it was a 7.5-year-old's makeup skills
Right.
for a black eye? Anyway, so a little bit of important information. We were pretty poor growing up. My mom had 5 kids and a husband who only really helped with his biological kid, our baby brother. Since this was just before Halloween, my mom told my grandma she felt awful because she couldn't afford to purchase costumes with her 2 jobs. She didn't have time to make them either, so grandma volunteered to make them for us. We were spending Halloween at a local church that year because we lived in a terrible neighborhood. The church was having a biblical character costume contest, and my grandma had read the Bible dozens and dozens of times. I mean, it was like, the Bible for old people is basically like Harry Potter, right? Like,
Yeah.
like for old Christians, it is basically their Lord of the Rings. Like they're gonna read that sucker cover to cover to cover to cover to cover to cover. It's wild.
Right. Yeah. They know every aspect of everything from every part of every piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. You want to know what Austin 316 was? Wait, no, that's WWE.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know Bible stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, okay. The church was having a biblical. Okay, I'd read the Bible dozens of times, so she hatched her petty revenge for me. Her petty revenge plan for me. Halloween day comes, and my grandma brings out our costumes. She made me a gorgeous gold dress with a beautiful headband and bought new matching shoes for me and let me wear her gold necklaces and bracelets. She told me I was Queen Esther and told me the story so I knew who she was. Oh, that's awesome. Queen Esther's a great
Mhm.
story.
Yeah.
She was going, okay. Then she called Savannah in and showed her costume. She was going as a giant blue whale with a Ken doll attached to its stomach, representing Jonah and the whale. Everyone loved my costume, and I got so many compliments. I got to spend the night as a beautiful queen, and my sister was a whale. It was probably the only time in my entire childhood I felt more special than my little sister. I also ended up winning first place in the costume contest, which was
Nice.
basically salt in the open wound for her. My
Oh, yeah.
sister still tells that story 2+ decades later to give examples on why she thinks my grandma hated her. She didn't. She just didn't like how spoiled she was. My grandma was the best.
Grandma was the best.
Good
Yes.
job, grandma.
Good job, Grandma. Good job,
To
Grandma.
all the grandmas, I salute you.
Yep. So you.
Let's see. Neighbor ignored his dogs until OP upgraded the security system. See what this is. Okay. Miscellaneous. Revenge on my neighbor with wandering dogs. I live in a rural and remote area. Phone. A rural and remote area that's mostly acreages. I get along with my neighbors, except one man that lives across the road and down about 100 meters. He has 2 dogs who keep coming onto my property and chasing my chickens. They've killed a few. They killed my duck. They killed my rabbit the one time she escaped from her enclosure. I've asked the neighbor nicely to keep his dogs at home. He just says that it's my problem because I free range my chickens on my own property.
Okay.
This guy sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. This man even went to another neighbor and gave her crap for feeding her own cat on her deck outside her back door because his dogs keep going over and eating the cat food and getting fat. I called the police to find out what I can do about it, but since there is no dog bylaws, there isn't much.
This is not what the dog owner is the problem here. Definitely.
A friend of mine moved her family down to the city to go to grad school and asked me if I would take her to Maremas? What's a Maremma? I said yes. For those who don't know, Maremmas are big. They are livestock guardian dogs. Oh boy.
Big are they?
Oh, these big boys. Big boys.
You got pictures? You want to share your screen?
Yes. I shall. These bad boys. They are a Maremmo Abruzes sheepdog. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. We've got one of these that live near me.
They get to 29 inches tall and 100 pounds.
Yeah.
They're Italian, so they will mess you up with an accent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
The one that lives near us is he's huge. We call him what do we call him? I think we just call him Fluffy. But he is just this big fluff, and he's old, and he doesn't know what he's doing, but he kind of roams around, and he'll come into the yard, and like you'll be outside doing whatever, and then he'll be walking down the road. He'll say, "Hey, what's up?" And he'll look, and he'll come back and then saunter over to you, and then you could pet him. He'll sit down. He loves the pets and everything, and then he'll wander back off and go back down the road and everything. He's just this big old softy.
Yes. So here we go. The Maremma sheepdog has its origins in Italy, where it was originally used by shepherds to guard sheep from wolves and other potential predators. These dogs have been used for this very purpose for at least the past 2,000 years. They are similar to Pyrenees mountain dogs and the Hungarian Kuvas. They
Yep.
are still used by farmers in the Abruzzo region of Italy, where wolves still pose a threat. They are also used to protect cattle, goats, and even a dwindling population of penguins in Australia. The Maremma is a guardian at heart, whether it be sheep, cattle, chickens, territory, or people. They will be constantly on the lookout for any signs of danger. This makes them great guard and watchdogs. They are good in a family setting, but will be naturally wary of any strangers entering the house. This can be somewhat prevented with early socialization, though they are bred to protect their families, so this wariness will never fully go away. Even if assured that they are no harm, a Maremma will always have their eye on any strangers in the house, ready for any signs of danger. They enjoy being in the company of people and other dogs alike. They will even befriend cats if that is the only company they have throughout the day. They can be trusted with chickens in the garden and will most likely see it as their job to guard them. Maremas will generally bark to ward off intruders. Some individuals can take this to the next level and will bark at pretty much anything. This is why the quiet command should be one of the first things you teach them. They are intelligent and won't blindly follow all your commands. They like to think for themselves and will often respond after a few seconds, during which they weigh up the pros and cons of what you want them to do. While they can be trained, no Maremma is going to win first place in an obedience competition. They need a fair amount of exercise, but should not be taken on long walks until they are 6 months old. Once they've reached this age, one long walk a day and some playtime will be ideal. Okay. Brahma sheepdogs have a thick double coat, which protects them from the elements outside when they're guarding sheep. Their coats will need brushing regularly, but bathing isn't really needed. They molt once or twice a year, but don't seem to lose all that much fur.
It's like thick too. It's like thick. Like, have you ever pet like a German Shepherd, long-haired German Shepherd, during winter, where they've got the winter coat underneath, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how it's like thick like that.
Yeah.
Double that.
Oh yeah, double
Make
coats
it
are crazy.
fluffy. It's just fluff. It's just fluff.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think this is because my stepkids, they actually found a dog which they named Wolf at the park. There's a park at a lake near us, and they were there with their dad one day, and this dog was just like going around not talking, but like going around and being friendly, right, with multiple people. He came up to them, and of course 3 kids, and he was just having a good old time, and he wouldn't leave. And so they figured he didn't have a collar, he doesn't have a tag, he didn't have nothing, right? So they were worried about him, and so they convinced their dad to take him. And so he took him and found out that he didn't have a tag, he didn't have a chip or nothing. And so now they have this big old dog like that named Wolf, and he has a big old thick coat like that, and he is the best. He acts like he is not a puppy. He is nowhere near a puppy. He is bigger than I am, and he totally acts like he is the most puppy of puppies.
Oh, sure.
Little cute dude. I love him.
That's adorable. I love that. Okay, so back to where we were. A friend of mine asked me if I would take her to Maremmas. I said yes. They are big livestock guardian dogs. They will protect my chickens from my neighbor's dogs. He messaged me tonight with a link with instructions on how to stop your dogs from barking. I lost it, laughing. My dogs are constantly barking at his dogs at the perimeter of my property, which does not border his at all. His dogs are trying to come down my driveway and are running up and down the road all the time. I texted him back that my dogs are simply barking at his dogs when they try to come onto my property, and if he wants my dogs to stop barking, he needs to keep his dogs at home. No response from him, but within 5 minutes, all the barking stopped because he called his dogs.
There you go.
Now, every time I hear my dogs bark, instead of getting annoyed, I smile, knowing that my neighbor, whose dogs have been killing my animals, is annoyed. And that if he wants the barking to stop, he actually has to train his dogs.
Fair. That is fair.
Yeah, that's right.
Fair.
Okay, so last one. Yes. A house flipper crossed the property line, so OP made the property line impossible to ignore. Whoa.
Love it.
Oh, this is fairly recent. This is within the last month. SSR 1089. House flippers drove a skid loader through my front yard. A skid loader.
A skid loader.
Several months ago, the house next to me went up for sale and was immediately bought by a house flipper. The very first day the contractor showed up to start painting the brick and put in crappy fake flooring, they dropped a porta potty right on the side of the house next to my house. I come home from a day of work, park my car in front of my house in the street, like I always do, get out of my car, look down and say, "What is all this mud?" Mud all over the street where they unloaded the skid loader. Tire tracks right up the sidewalk and straight through my god dang front lawn, cutting across where they dropped the dang porta potty.
Oh, that's just common courtesy. Common courtesy. It's not your property. Why are you doing that?
Yep. I completely flew off the handle. Justifiably so, I would say.
Yes.
I yelled at every contractor out there until someone gave me the number of their boss. I was trying to get the owner's number, but the contractor, fine. I called and shooed out both the porta potty company and the contractor. Both argued with me that I was wrong. So then I parked my little Honda where they unloaded the skid loader to prevent future unloading in the front. I also then drove my truck on down to Lowe's and bought a steak and a no trespassing sign. And then I then put the no trespassing sign right on my property line.
There you go. I
I,
don't know how much that's going to help, but still, I mean, good on you. Do
we
it.
still got 5 paragraphs, pal.
Yeah.
I then left my Civic at the spot for about 1.5 weeks and just drove the truck out of spite. During this time, I had to deal with contractors' trash making its way into my yard daily. Rags, dust masks, etc. I would overhear them laughing how I have my property lines wrong and that my sign is now on their yard, etc. 1.5 weeks later, when I get in my little Civic, somehow my front windshield is now cracked completely across. It
Oh,
has
no.
since been progressing all different directions. Odd how my windshield just magically broke. I am pretty certain the contractors were mad at me for yelling at them and were throwing random bits of crap at it. I can't prove it, so it's whatever at this point now.
I mean, that's a give or take. I mean, it could have been just construction stuff, but I mean, I would definitely come to that same conclusion.
Right? Several months later, they clear out and the first sale sign comes up. Thank God. It might finally be over. I leave my no trespassing sign up anyways. Several people come and go looking at the house. All meanwhile, I have a crappy, broken up no trespassing sign flopping in the wind. My ugly Civic with a broken windshield, ugly and multicolor right now from a couple of hit and run accidents, uh, sitting right there at the edge of my house facing theirs.
Were they his hit and
Once
run
again,
accidents?
right. Once again, I come home from work one day and my no trespassing sign has been stolen off my property line. That's it. I'm done with this. Call the realtor company. My blood is pumping. I get the receptionist and realize this is not her fault. I try to calm down and keep cool
Good
with
job.
her, but I'm still a bit angry. I'm stern with her and tell her to tell the realtor to get a surveyor out here, mark the lines, bring back my sign, and apologize. And after she is done with the contract, if she's and
Okay.
after she is done with that, the contractor can roll up the sod truck, resod my side of the yard, and apologize as well. The receptionist then asked if I wanted the realtor's direct number. I replied, really not a good idea with how angry I am right now. Just relay the message for me. And I then hung up. A
I
couple days
mean,
later on Sunday.
probably better.
What's that?
I said probably better.
Right.
You know, you don't want to go too far into the yelling part. You want to kind of, be easy in it, and he seems heated enough that it might not be a good idea for him to be talking to that.
Sure. Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
if you're mad enough, you
So
don't want to talk to nobody. And you're gonna
right.
say some stuff.
It's like, if you have to make a point while you're typing this to be all like, I realized it wasn't her fault, so I had to be nice. Like, you're already off that end, so it's not going to be good if it's not her.
Yeah. If it ain't the person I'm supposed to be yelling at, I don't want to yell at them. And I
Right.
get that. Fully understood.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
let's see. A couple days later, coincidentally, wait, hold on.
No, on Sunday, next one up.
A couple days later on Sunday, there's so many paragraphs. I hop in the truck and go back down to Lowe's, get bright orange paracord and a new no trespassing sign. As I get home, my old no trespassing sign is magically back. Realtor waited
Oh.
until I left to return it. I still proceeded to run my property line with my bright orange paracord and new no trespassing sign.
Nice.
A couple days later, coincidentally, my Civic gets reported to code enforcement as abandoned. Well, guess what? It's not. I called code enforcement. They were actually really cool with me. I explained it was completely legal and that I drove that car to work that day. They removed me from the list.
Nice.
Today I get a note taped to my front door. The contractor is trying to apologize now several months later and offering me $500 if I will just please remove my no trespassing signs so they can sell the house easier. I'm ready to tell them to go kick rocks. I want this house flipper to just bleed financially on this house for several months. I won't be calling back for several days, if ever.
Good on you. That's good and petty. Go ahead and petty yourself up.
Let me just point out, $500 does not pay for the sod that it takes to replace a
Hell
lawn.
no. Hell no. That is 100% their problem, and they need to fix it.
You busted my windshield. You tatted up my sign. You tore up my lawn.
And then told me it was my fault. And now that you know that it's not my fault, you're trying to pay me off with like this much money. No.
Would you like the
Sorry, that is not
realtor's
going to work.
number? No, I don't. Because I'm going to be very upset. And it's probably better if you send this information back.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be
For
nicer
sure.
than I am. And
Mhm.
I appreciate that you are trying to help me out, but no.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have
Thank
to
you
decline.
for your offer, but the offer is probably not the best idea in anybody's situation.
That's right.
Sorry.
I do love me some good petty revenge, Will.
It's so good. Petty revenge is another one of those. Malicious compliance, petty revenge. I mean, we can do this for
many times
ever.
as Reddit posts exist, honestly. Like they're all pretty
Exactly.
good. Right?
They're all pretty good.
Yeah.
They're all pretty good.
Oh my goodness.
It's definitely worth it.
Definitely. Except when they
Definitely
remove the
worth it.
post and I can still click the link.
Right.
Just remove the link.
Like-
Just remove it. I don't need anything
Yeah.
saved for posterity. If you deleted it, delete the whole thing.
Exactly.
Ugh. Anyway.
There's not any reason that we need to have any of that mix up kind of crap.
I'm a little upset with you though, Will.
What is that?
You didn't say anything about my haircut.
I did too. Well, not today, but I did when you got your haircut.
Ugh. What?
Hey, you have a great haircut, man.
Thanks, pal. I
That's
appreciate it.
definitely, it suits you. It's beautiful. It's beautimous, and it fits you perfectly.
Well, that's good because it's growing out of my head. All right.
Exactly.
Well, good. I don't have to get any petty revenge on you.
I would hope not.
Thanks for coming in, guys. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, leave,
Like, comment, share, subscribe.
send
Yeah.
this podcast to whoever you want to annoy the most. It really helps getting the listens. Anyway,
Yep.
I've been
Send
Dave.
us some of your stuff
Yeah.
too. You got some good petty stuff going on. Send it to us. We want to hear it. It's fixyourlifepod@gmail.com. Also, we've got the Reddits, we've got the Instagrams, we've got all the stuff.
Every last stuff.
Well, I wouldn't say every last stuff, but most
All
of
the
the
stuffs. We've got all the stuffs that we need.
all the stuffs that we need. Yep.
Well, anyway, I've been Dave.
And I've been Will.
Thanks, everybody. Time to dance
Thanks
out.
for being petty. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye now.
Been hating my job, I need to quit. Where'd I go wrong? Is this really it? I need to pick me up. Can you fix me up today? I can't keep living this way.